Philosophies Revived.
Are you feeling anxious? Do you find yourself constantly worrying about the future, regretting the past, or struggling to find meaning in your life? You're not alone. Anxiety is a common experience, but it doesn't have to control your life. In fact, according to the philosopher Soren Kierkegaard, anxiety can even be harnessed as a positive force. Today, we'll explore Kierkegaard's existentialist approach to managing anxiety and discuss 5 practical ways you can apply his insights to your own life. 1. Harness your anxiety. Soren Kierkegaard, the renowned philosopher, believed that anxiety can be a powerful motivator. Instead of trying to suppress or eliminate it, he suggested that we should learn to harness our anxiety and use it to fuel our actions. This may seem counterintuitive, but it is a profound insight that can help us navigate the challenges of life with greater ease. Anxiety is a natural response to stress and uncertainty. It is a signal that something is amiss and needs our attention. But too often, we let our anxiety overwhelm us and prevent us from taking action. We become paralyzed by fear and doubt, and this can lead to a cycle of inaction and negative self-talk. But Kierkegaard saw anxiety in a different light. He believed that it could be a source of strength and inspiration. By embracing our anxiety and using it as a catalyst for action, we can turn it from a negative force into a positive one. For example, if you're feeling anxious about an upcoming presentation, instead of letting that anxiety overwhelm you, channel it into preparation and practice. Use that energy to fuel your efforts and make sure you are well prepared. By doing so, you will not only perform better, but also alleviate some of the anxiety that you feel. This approach can be applied to many aspects of life, whether it's a job interview, a first date, or a difficult conversation. Harnessing your anxiety can help you stay focused and motivated. It can also help you develop resilience and build confidence in your abilities. 2. Recognize feelings of regret. Regret is a powerful emotion that can hold us back from living our best lives. It's easy to get caught up in thoughts of what could have been or what we should have done differently. But according to Kierkegaard, regret is a natural part of the human experience. Instead of trying to erase or ignore our regrets, we should acknowledge them and learn from them. When we try to suppress or ignore our regrets, we give them power over us. We become trapped in a cycle of anxiety and self-doubt, constantly second-guessing ourselves and our decisions. But by embracing our regrets and using them as a guide for the future, we can transform them into a source of wisdom. Think about a time when you experienced regret. Maybe it was a missed opportunity, a bad decision, or a mistake you made. Instead of dwelling on the negative emotions associated with that experience, try to approach it with curiosity and openness. What can you learn from that experience? How can you use it to make better decisions in the future? By reframing our regrets in this way, we can turn them from a liability into an asset. We can use them as a tool for personal growth and development. And when we do this, we can move forward with greater confidence and clarity. 3. Welcome the absurd. Existentialism, as a philosophy, is often associated with a sense of nihilism or despair. However, Soren Kierkegaard, one of the foremost existentialist philosophers, saw it differently. He believed that by embracing the absurdity of life, we can find a sense of freedom and joy. This may seem counterintuitive, but it is a profound insight that can help us navigate the challenges of life with greater ease. We often try to impose meaning or purpose on a chaotic world, and in doing so, we can become overwhelmed by the sheer complexity and unpredictability of life. We may feel anxious and uncertain, constantly seeking answers and solutions to problems that seem insurmountable. However, Kierkegaard believed that by embracing the inherent absurdity of existence, we can find a sense of liberation and possibility. What does it mean to embrace the absurdity of life? It means letting go of the need for certainty and control. It means accepting that life is unpredictable and often chaotic, and that there are no easy answers or solutions to the problems we face. It means recognizing that there is no inherent meaning or purpose to life, but that we have the power to create our own meaning and purpose through our actions and choices. By embracing the absurdity of life, we can find a sense of freedom and joy. We can let go of our anxieties and fears and embrace the possibilities that life has to offer. We can take risks and try new things, knowing that failure is not a reflection of our worth or value as individuals. We can find beauty and meaning in the everyday moments of life, rather than constantly seeking grandiose and unattainable goals. 4. Come to terms with your mortality. One of the most central themes of Kierkegaard's philosophy is the idea of mortality. He believed that by acknowledging our own mortality, we can find a deeper appreciation for life and a sense of urgency to make the most of our time. While it may be tempting to avoid or deny the reality of death, Kierkegaard encouraged us to confront it head-on. By embracing the inevitability of death, we can live more fully in the present. When we recognize that our time on earth is limited, we are more likely to prioritize the things that matter most to us. We are less likely to waste our time on trivial pursuits or meaningless distractions. Instead, we can focus on the things that bring us joy, fulfillment, and purpose. Kierkegaard believed that our awareness of mortality can also inspire us to take risks and pursue our dreams. When we recognize that our time is limited, we are more likely to take chances and try new things. We are less afraid of failure or rejection because we understand that every moment is precious. Furthermore, acknowledging our own mortality can help us develop a greater appreciation for the beauty and wonder of life. When we recognize that our time is limited, we are more likely to savor the simple pleasures of life and find meaning in the everyday moments. We can find joy in spending time with loved ones, enjoying a beautiful sunset, or pursuing a hobby that brings us happiness. In the face of mortality, Kierkegaard believed that we can find a sense of comfort and peace. By accepting the inevitability of death, we can let go of our anxieties and fears. We can find solace in the knowledge that our lives have meaning and purpose, even in the face of death. Ultimately, Kierkegaard's philosophy encourages us to embrace our mortality as a natural part of the human experience. By doing so, we can find a deeper appreciation for life, a greater sense of urgency to pursue our dreams, and a greater sense of peace in the face of death. So let us all take a moment to reflect on the brevity of life, and let us use that awareness to live each day to the fullest. 5. Embrace authenticity and individuality. According to Kierkegaard, the key to a fulfilling life is to embrace your own unique identity. He saw conformity and social pressure as sources of anxiety and urged us to embrace our individuality instead. By living authentically and true to ourselves, we can find a sense of purpose and meaning that transcends the anxieties of everyday life. Living authentically means being true to who we are, rather than conforming to societal expectations or trying to fit into a mold that doesn't fit us. It means embracing our quirks, our passions, and our values, even if they don't align with what is considered normal or acceptable by society. When we live authentically, we are more likely to find fulfillment and happiness in our lives. We are more likely to pursue the things that bring us joy and meaning, rather than trying to live up to someone else's expectations. We are more likely to form deep and meaningful connections with others, based on shared values and interests, rather than shallow and superficial connections based on appearances or social status. But living authentically is not always easy. It can be scary to go against the grain, to stand out from the crowd, and to risk rejection or ridicule. It can be tempting to conform to the expectations of others, to follow the path of least resistance, and to stay within our comfort zones. However, Kierkegaard believe that the rewards of authenticity far outweigh the risks. By living authentically, we can find a sense of purpose and meaning that transcends the anxieties of everyday life. We can forge deep and meaningful connections with others based on shared values and interests. We can pursue our passions and interests with greater confidence and clarity. And we can live our lives on our own terms, rather than trying to live up to someone else's expectations. So there you have it, 5 ways to manage your anxiety, according to the existentialist philosophy of Soren Kierkegaard. By harnessing your anxiety, recognizing feelings of regret, welcoming the absurd, coming to terms with your mortality, and embracing your authenticity and individuality, you can find a sense of freedom, purpose, and joy. So go forth and live boldly, knowing that your anxiety can be a source of strength rather than a limitation.